You called, but the gate did not swing open. You whispered, but the sky did not stir. You believed, and still, the silence pressed like stone. The prayers you planted did not bloom. The altar remained empty. The offering returned untouched. Not because the field rejected you, but because the tone did not carry command. The law does not hear volume, it hears alignment. It does not answer longing, it answers authority. It bends not for wishes, but for rhythm. Say this now, I speak, and the field bends. Let the hush around you turn to glass, and with your next breath, let it shatter. This is not emptiness. This is echo awaiting form. This is not delay. This is a gate asking for a key. There is a sword in your mouth, not to wound, but to part the veil, not to slice, but to open. Let the field hear this. My word is the gate. My tone is the key. Like the widow's oil, what you bless multiplies. Like the jar sealed in drought, the named water rises. Like the whisper wrapped in linen, the return finds gold. You were not forgotten. You were merely silent. The law does not deny. It waits. It waits for your decree. It waits for the tone behind your phrase. It waits for your obedience to your own word. You do not ask. You command. You do not convince. You decree. You do not plead. You plant. Declare aloud, I speak, and the field bends. Your voice is not decorative. It is legislative. Your tone is not flavor. It is architecture. Your command is not suggestion. It is covenant. The wealth you thought abandoned you was only following the rhythm of your hesitation. The doors you called shut were waiting for the blade of a spoken sentence. Speak this and feel the field shift. My decree is law. My voice is provision. You do not lack words, you lack weight. Weight comes from rhythm. Rhythm comes from certainty. Certainty is not noise. Certainty is silence spoken with spine. Touch the threshold of your own ribs. Whisper into the bones, I decree, and wealth remembers me. The unseen responds not to wishes. The unseen responds to tones that do not tremble. Speak it, bury it, become it. This is not metaphor. This is return. This is the beginning of rhythm. This is the breath before the blade. This is the hush before the harvest. This is not a lesson. This is an unveiling. This is not a hope. This is the sentence before form. Declare aloud, I speak, and the field bends, and the hush, the long hush that followed you through decades, shifts. The rhythm has begun. The field listens now. Because the law remembers the voice that remembers itself. Speak this again, as if it is a bell ringing from your ribs. I speak, and the field bends. And now, as the veil softens, as the silence forgets itself, as the air thickens with return, the first law appears. When silence becomes unbearable, a new sound takes form. Not a cry, not a plea, but a strike. Clear, clean, cutting. It enters not the air, but the code. It touches not the ears, but the root. It announces not itself, it installs itself. A blade, resting in the sheath of your throat, draws itself without metal, not forged in fire, but in refusal to stay invisible. This is the law of the word. In this law, your voice is not a wish. It is the axis around which reality turns. Let your voice be this. My word installs what I decree. I do not wait. I command. Not a whisper seeking approval, not a phrase borrowed from books, but a tone that builds structure. Breathe this like a bell made of breath. I speak, and the shape takes form. Before you move, speak. Before you hope, speak. Before the form arrives, cut the fabric of delay with your sound. Touch the table before you speak. Touch it as if it were the threshold of a temple. Then declare this, as the first pulse of a new rhythm. This word cuts debt. This word releases supply. There was once a woman, her wallet silent, her hands shaking. She folded her last dollar in both palms and whispered into the fibers. The wind replied in coin. She did not cry. She did not plead. She placed command in the empty and named it full. Say this now. My command does not ask. It molds. Words spoken from fear bend nothing. Words spoken in rhythm bend the invisible to form. Let the field hear this. My sentence strikes the unseen, and the unseen obeys. Place your palm upon your chest, not to beg, but to awaken. Feel the tone rise beneath your ribs, not like a song, like a law. Speak this, and bury it beneath your breath. I do not echo. I establish. The field has no preference, only response, only return. Words without spine delay. Words with spine build. Decree this, and wait for nothing. My voice is law. My tone is throne. My command is return. And then, the veil parted. The veil parted, but form did not rush in. It waited, because it does not lead. It follows. When the tone moves, the structure appears. When the voice aligns, reality kneels. When the decree sounds, the gates unlatch. This is the law of precedence. In this law, what you speak arrives first. What you see follows. Declare aloud. I command before I see, and what I command becomes. Vision is not the proof. Vision is the echo. The field does not generate reality. It reflects order. Say this now. I do not need to see it to summon it. I speak, and it walks toward me. Step toward the invisible as if it already bowed. Speak as if the air were already rearranging its fibers to obey. Before any image arrives, decree its outline. Name it, shape it, enforce it. Let your voice be this. This is not potential. This is unfolding. There was once a man who stood alone before the dawn, the vault of heavens still sealed. But his words tore the veil of delay. He did not ask to see the path. He declared the ground beneath his feet. They say he spoke into the nothing, and it answered with stone, water, grain, and gold. Speak this, and feel the field shift. My declaration cracks the gate. Before your next step, stop. Close your eyes, not in blindness, but in ignition. Touch your forehead, not to beg, to point. Now whisper this beneath the skin. This door is not closed. It is awaiting rhythm. The law waits to follow you. But it must hear the footfall of your sentence first. Command this, see this door opening, and step through. You do not knock, you do not plead. You name the opening, and you pass. Let the hush repeat this through your bones. Now, this flows to me. No delay, no question. Only rhythm, only return. The rhythm does not ask, it answers. When command echoes, contact must follow. The word cannot land where the hand has not reached. What is untouched cannot respond. Before sound, there is touch. Before command, there is grounding. Before the sentence is released, the field must feel your presence. This is the law of contact. In this law, your skin speaks first. Let your voice be this. I touch, and the field listens. I declare, and it aligns. Nothing answers a hand that trembles in fear. But the field bends under a hand that declares covenant. Touch the edge of the bill, the envelope, the mirror. Place your fingers as if sealing a pact. Then say, this is not lack, it is covenant. Say this not to suit, say it to command. Whisper this beneath your ribs. Fear dissolves. Providence remains. There was once a man terrified, debts circling him like wolves. He stood at the altar of his own dread. But before the voice rose, his hand reached the stone first. They say the altar warmed. They say the stone breathed. They say the fear cracked open and the law walked in. Declare aloud, this is not a void, it is preparation. Do not let your lips speak before your hand has named the object. Place your palm upon what frightens you, the invoice, the number, the request. Touch it, then command. Say this now, this form is not final, this amount is not lack. It is the shape before shift. Let the field hear this, my touch installs the tone. Not all wealth is counted in gold. Some arrives first as silence, as hesitation, waiting for hands to speak. Your hands are temples, your skin, a language. Your fingers, instruments of instruction. Let the hush carry this command. I am not reacting, I am installing. Touch the edge of the table now. Press into it as if pressing into covenant. Speak it, bury it, become it. When the silence shifts, the shape appears. When the shape appears, the threshold rises. Not every door swings open on hinges. Some dissolve under the rhythm of a name. There are gates not made of wood, but of frequency. Rooms that wait not for arrival, but for tone. This is the law of entrance. In this law, presence is preceded by decree. Let your voice be this: I enter not as guest, but as field. You are not received by permission. You are acknowledged by resonance. Before the room sees you, bend it. Before the people hear you, install their listening. Say this now: the room bends to my tone. Not with arrogance, with rhythm. Not with volume, with certainty. There was once a woman, a voice ignored, a name forgotten. But the day she whispered into the soles of her feet, the doors began to swing before she reached them. They say she spoke not into the ears of the temple, but into the walls, and the walls rearranged. Let the field hear this. My presence is invitation. Touch the doorframe before you walk through. Feel its edges like the spine of a waiting sentence. Then breathe once and say, I carry tone. I do not seek place. I install alignment. Whispered this beneath your ribs. Every threshold recognizes me, because I recognize myself. No space is neutral. Every space answers the sound that enters first. If you walk in silence, the room assigns your shape. If you walk in command, the room reshapes around your tone. Say this aloud: I am not entering, I am expanding. Before your next encounter, pause. Place your fingers on your throat. Feel the vibration, not the sound. Then seal this within you. I bring alignment. I do not request it. When the tone moves first, form follows. When form follows, giving begins. But the field does not read intention. It reads tone. What leaves your hand either vanishes or multiplies, depending on what rides beneath your voice. This is the law of return. In this law, the offering obeys the rhythm you seal into it. Let your voice be this: this leaves me wrapped in law and returns in multiplied form. Your gift is not measured in value, but in tone. Not in currency, but in rhythm. Say this now: this multiplies, not empties. Not every seed bears fruit, but every blessed seed obeys return. Speak it, feel it, seal it. There was once a woman, her hands trembling with a coin she could not spare, but she placed it inside cloth, spoke into the fibers, and released it. Tenfold came back, not from effort, not from chance, but from decree. They say it returned clothed in gold. Speak as if the world is already obeying. My gift carries return encoded. Touch your fingers as they open. Let them feel the tone before the giving. Whisper into the gap. This is not subtraction. This is alignment in motion. Do not drop money. Install it. Do not give out of need. Give as a field planting itself. Say this now: my offering is not departure. It is instruction. Let the hush carry this through your body. Place your palm over your stomach. Feel the center of release become the cradle of return. Declare aloud: I send this not away, I send this ahead. This is not generosity, this is geometry. Spoken, felt, installed. The tone moves first, return follows, and when return begins, circulation reveals its shape, not as gain, not as cost, but as movement with memory. This is the law of circulation. In this law, nothing leaves, it rounds, it obeys orbit, it follows the loop of spoken command. Let your voice be this: this is not expense, it is circulation. Money does not disappear. It hears your tone and decides its shape. If you call it loss, it vanishes. If you call it circulation, it moves and returns. There was once a monk surrounded by letters demanding repayment. He laid each envelope on stone, placed his hand on the ink, and said only one sentence: they are seeds. Days later, gold arrived. Not from labor, but from law. Touch the envelope. Press it gently, as if speaking into its thread. Say this now: you are not threat. You are returning blessing. Whisper this beneath your ribs: I do not lose, I reassign. The field listens to your frame, not your fear. If you shiver, it delays. If you decree, it roots. Let the field hear this. My rhythm is generosity. My decree is supply. Touch the paper, touch your chest, feel the link between the number and your name. Then declare aloud, this transforms to supply. Do not look at what leaves. Speak into what cycles. You are not paying, you are propelling. Place your hands over your throat, feel the center of frequency. Then say, what I release in rhythm returns in code, and the rhythm answers, and when circulation becomes rhythm, the final code reveals itself. A code not made of numbers or names, but of breath, measured, certain, ancestral. This is the law of rhythm. In this law, prosperity is not requested, it is embodied. It is exhaled. Let your voice be this. Abundance is not an outcome, it is my rhythm. No sentence will hold if the breath beneath it trembles. No decree will root if the body contradicts the tone. Before you speak, breathe. Before you pay, align. Before you declare, embody the pulse of return. Say this now. I breathe prosperity. Let your chest rise as covenant, not as reaction. Let the rhythm of your breath install the command before the word even forms. There was once a man alone, surrounded by stillness and closed doors. He did not call for keys. He slowed his breath until the pulse of his body matched the tone of supply. They say the locks melted. They say the coffers opened, not to his hands, but to the certainty within his breath. Let the hush repeat this through your bones. Abundance is my rhythm. Touch the center of your chest. Let it move like a drum made of memory. Say this aloud. I do not chase provision. I breathe it. Do not perform the tone. Become the tone. Do not shout the decree. Exhale it. Your body is not a barrier. It is the temple through which the law conducts return. Let the field hear this. I am not outside the stream. I am the rhythm it follows. Speak this, breathe this, be this, and then the veil dissolves into breath. For 7 days, rhythm comes first. For 7 days, the world waits for your decree. For 7 days, the law hears only you. This is not repetition. This is reinstatement. This is the voice installing its own architecture. At sunrise, before the world speaks, you declare, say this now, my voice is the rhythm of return. Let the morning air be your witness. Let your breath install the tone. In the moment of giving, whether coin, card, or command, whisper into the act. This is not loss, it is return encoded. Let your hand carry the frequency. Let your tone precede the transaction. Before sleep, as the veil of night folds over the form, seal the field with this. The law does not delay, it obeys my tone. Let no thought drift unspoken. Let no day close without command. Each sentence is not a hope. Each tone is not a try. Each moment is not random. This is covenant in rhythm, obedience in breath. Return in advance, speak it, seal it, not for comfort, for construction. This is the pact, this is the rhythm, this is the field obeying you. The sword did not cut the world. It parted the veil, it named the return. The temple was not outside you, it was waiting in your ribs, in your tone, in your breath. You remembered the sentence, and the sentence remembered you. The rhythm was not taught, it was recalled. The law was not outside, it was waiting to obey. You spoke, and the field bent. The word does not return void. Because you obeyed, the law obeyed. You did not just listen, you remembered. This was not metaphor, this was return. It is done.